So we're back again. Hopefully you can hear me over the furnace. Running a little bit blower. But anyway, we're going to be putting the rocker arm assembly back together. I'm in the process of disassembling the bushings and pressing in new ones. And the problem we're running into is the bushings do not fit over the shaft. I don't know if it's because the rocker arms are the wrong diameter or what. The bushings press in well and they seat well, but it's just like they're a little bit too thick. And so what I've had to do is get a brake cylinder hone and run in and out of the bushing until it fits. And it's kind of a long drawn out process. There's 12 rocker arms to do, and it takes probably half an hour to do each one, or 20 minutes anyway. So, but anyway, I'll show you what I've got done and where I'm going from there. So, see if I can get this angled up properly and looking at the workbench. This is the rocker arm that I've done. These are the only arms that I've got fixed. Actually, I've got to turn this all around. Boy, you can really see the lumber this side. Because I've left one side all assembled. This is how it came off of the engine. I didn't want to take both of them apart at once because these arms are different angles, you can see. And you can see the angle, and they got different shapes. I don't understand why, the reasoning behind it, but anyway, this came off. Fortunately, I took pictures of, or video of these particular rocker arms when I was removing the head from my YouTube page there. But anyway, I looked at it just to get an idea. I forgot which side was the right side, which side was the left side. So, and then I took still photographs, as you can see here, that I just looked at to identify the right side and left side. So anyway, I've got to organize those rocker arms in the correct way. And so anyway, that's what I'm going to do. So you can see, I can just hold on a second here. Let me get back with you. Okay, what we're going to do, we're going to disassemble this rocker arm. Let me see if I can get a little zoom here in on this. And so you can all see a little bit better. Hopefully that sun ain't going to glare, but according to my picture, this is the left arm. Problem is, I put them on backwards because here's the hole, and the hole's got to go to the center, so it's got to go this way. So I've got to change things around. So what we're going to do is try to get these off. Take them off in order so I know kind of what's going on here. We'll probably have to change things around again, but and I'll show you once we get some of these a little bit tighter than others. But anyway, that's what we're doing. Now, if you can see up inside there, there's a bushing. It's got a oil channel, and you can see it through it. And there's a hole in the back, right there, and that hole on the inside has got to match up with this hole here. Actually, there's two holes in there, but you can see there's an oil channel around them. Well, anyway, that matches up with these oil holes here. And what happens is it pumps oil into this shaft, it comes out those holes, and it goes up into these rocker arms, lubricates them, and then spits out into your head and drains back down into your engine. But anyway, what we're trying to do is get this thing assembled properly. One end is plugged, as you can see, the other end is open. So this is being the left side. When looking from the distributor side of the engine towards the engine, this would be the left side. So, looking at my diagram here, I have to get the right rocker arm, slide on. That one. Spring, no, there's this in between. And then it's, no spring. One of these with the notched end on it, like that. Then the spring. And then another one, you can see the little notch on the end of the arm there. I don't know what the significance behind that is, but anyway, it kind of helps identify what. I mean, it was difficult honing these things out because of the, you don't want to get them too much so that they're sloppy on there. And, you want them to be able to move freely too, so it's like it's kind of a, hone it a little bit, try it, hone it a little bit, try it until it works. It just takes a lot of time. So anyway, then we put another one of these on. And then I have my other arm is on here. That's all I've got done so far. And then I've got another spring, and I got another rocker. We'll get to that in a minute. So, kind of gives you an idea of what these old rocker arms look like, how they work, and it's kind of interesting. And but anyway, here's the old rocker arm. Kind of busted the end up a little bit, but you can see the wear on the bottom from the valves, springs pushing up, and the push rod on the other side, where all the wear comes is right on the bottom. And you can see that groove across there where, and you can feel it, there's actually a wear on this bar from those things rocking back and forth. It's kind of interesting. So it's really, it was a good thing to replace. It's just a lot of extra work. These are the old bushings here, and you can definitely see on one side they're a lot thinner than they are on the other side. So there's some major wear on some of these, so it's good. And these are the new ones. And if you can see, there's a little gap in there. I mean, it's not a gap, it's where it's rolled together. Where these are solid, the originals. Those are just a solid piece of pipe. You can't see it if I'm holding it now, but there's no edge on it. Where these, the replacement ones, have got that edge right there. So, and this is the new shaft for the other side, and those just slide on like that. Well, see, they slide on nice and easy, but it opens it up a little bit, this gap, and when I press this inside those rocker arms, that gap is tight. I mean, it's just right up there, and there's not much of a gap, but it's just really minute, and that's why the cylinder hone is taking up just enough material to allow me to slide those on. I suppose a guy could probably force those rocker arms on, but boy, would they be tight. I mean, it was like you'd have to just really force them on there, and then they would be stuck. They wouldn't rotate. And I want them you know, like this. I want them to go back and forth. I don't want them to play this way, but I want them to be able to move freely, because that's just undue to me. That's how you bend bush rods, and so we don't need that. So anyway, that's kind of where I'm at, and when I get done with this, we'll show you the finished product. Okay, we're going to turn off the music for YouTube so they don't get all upset. You'll be able to hear me better. We're going to press one of the bushings out of one of the rocker arms. What I use is a, I'm trying to see what size it is. It's a, I don't know. It's a socket, anyway. That's what I've used to push, and it fits the inside diameter of that rocker arm. So with this little arbor press that I have, it works just fine. It's about all this thing can handle, but it works sweet. So what we do is we get everything lined up, and then we just push down, and like that, it starts moving, and you can see it start to push it through. And then what it does is it falls out underneath. Get it to go here. Well, must be a little bit off. It gets a little bit twisted in there. It won't want to push right. So you gotta get it so it's just right. There she goes. And bingo. There you go. There's your bushing. I used a 5/8 inch socket, and I have a clean rocker arm. You can see now what I do is I run a hone down through this to clean that all out, and it gives it a little bit more room too for that bushing to slide in. And I don't want to hone this out a lot because I don't want that bushing to slop, you know, in there where it's going to turn. You don't want that. You want to press it in so that it sits in that spot. So anyway, that's what I'm going to do now. Okay, here we are at the hone inside the rocker arm. You can see it sticking out the end. What you do, what I do, we oil it all up real good. Throw some oil in there to give it some lubrication. And then we just run that hone back and forth. Pull it out, take a look-see at it, clean it all up, and it's a nice clean bore. As you can see how shiny it is inside? That's what we want. We want all that old crusty oil and crud in there removed. And then they have this little oil hole at the top. So what you do there is you just want to get that all cleaned out, and so you just take a little awl, stick that up in there, and see all the crud in there. Of course, I've had this soaking in cleaner, so they're all pretty good. They'll definitely be all blown out before everything's finally assembled. But anyways, now what we do is we move on to the bushing. And I'll show you that next, pressing that bushing in. Okay, now we're back to pressing the bushing in. You can see I've got it lined up the hole with this hole here. And what we want to do is take the arbor press and push that flat. You can see that it's hard to see with my hand in the way, that I put this down on the flat piece here, so I get a nice flat surface. And then I take just got a piece of angle iron that I can put down so that that arbor press will sit nice and flat on top of that bushing. Get that position just right. And this way it'll drive that, or press that bushing straight into the position that I need. And so all you do is this is a lot easier than taking it out actually. You just press that in like so. That's in place. You can see it's not quite all the way through. It's kind of like the bushing is just a little bit shy of going all the way through, so you can see it's flush on this side. And actually peens off a little bit of the bushing there. But what we do is we put that socket back into position and we pull down just enough to help that through a little bit more. Like that. Not a whole lot. That there. It's just about right. You got just about the same amount of, you can't see if I'm not holding it up there, just about enough of the bushing pushed in on this side as you do this side. It's pretty close. So anyway, now we're set, but my problem is this will not fit over. Let's see if I can get this set up without having to stop it here. Here's my shaft. It won't slide on. See, it goes that far and it stops. So now I've got to run the hone in and out this bushing because it's just, for some odd reason,